You're still tuned to Funab Radio 89.5 FM. Here's the news at 10. But first, the top stories. Ogun State Government, union officials to meet over teachers' strike.
DPR wants few stations.
President Jonathan says he has done much for the North.
Kwara State government directs tertiary institutions to operate single accounts.
General Babangida pledges retired general support for APC presidential candidate.
Suspected NYC member killed.
I am Victor Obiora.
I am Olushola Bamdele.
Here's the news in detail. Top leaders of the Nigerian Union of Teachers (NUT) and Academic Staff Union Secondary Schools (ASUS) are expected to meet with those of Ogun State government today in Abeokuta to explore ways of ending the three-day-old strike of teachers in state public primary and secondary schools. ASUS State Chairman Mr. Akim Lasisi, who made this known to Rock City FM, said the meeting will be attended by officials of the Federal Ministry of Labour, which he said initiated the meeting. Public schools in the state have remained shut following the directive of the union asking the teachers to stay at home. The planned meeting between the union leaders and the government officials scheduled for last Friday failed to hold. Some of the teachers' demands including the filling of the vacant post of 4 principal general who retired in 2014, the non-remittance of the deductions from salaries to the appropriate authorities, and the promotion of the degree holder teachers in primary schools beyond level 14, among others.
The Department of Petroleum Resources (DPR) in Kwara State has warned filling stations selling fuel at 100 naira per litre to desist henceforth. The task force members of the state DPR, who were on surveillance to filling stations in Lorry at the weekend, gave the warning. The DPR also ordered the closure of 2 filling stations in Lorry for under-dispensing of fuel to unsuspecting members of the public. The filling stations were discovered to have adjusted their meters rather than 10 liters of fuel as displayed on the pumping machine. The agency discovered that the stations, in practical terms, sold 8.7 liters. The operation controller of the state DPR, Amos Jokodola, who spoke through the acting deputy manager, retail outlet, Ishola Joshua, said that the agency would not hesitate to close down any fuel station found to be cheating innocent buyers.
President Goodluck Jonathan says he did not hate the North, and it has been alleged by some politicians from the region. Jonathan, addressing PDP supporters at his presidential campaign rally in Sokoto, said such politicians are misleading the Northerners that his administration was discriminating against the region. The president, who said he believes in the national unity and equitable distribution of projects, said his administration established 10 new universities in the north and 4 in the south. He also said that his government is spending more than 50% of its budgetary votes on agriculture in the north because of its extensive fertile land. APC presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari has accused the People's Democratic Party (PDP) of indulging in pettiness and lies about his health and private life ahead of the February 14 presidential poll. The candidate said he was worried over what he called the desperation and anger of PDP over the trend of the presidential poll campaign. He said that elections should not be regarded by PDP as war.
The Kwara State government has directed all 9 state-owned tertiary institutions in the state to open a single treasury account for fees and other payments in a pilot exercise that will eventually extend to all revenue-generating agencies in the state. They have also been directed to close all other revenue accounts maintained in commercial banks across the state. The state governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed, who gave the directive during a meeting with heads of tertiary institutions and banks operating in the state, said the directive is to enable the government get a clear picture of the institution's finances as a prelude to the debut of the newly established Kwara State Internal Revenue Service (KSIIS), which is the sole body responsible for revenue collection and management in the state. The governor also assured that the institutions will continue to receive budgeted funds from the state government as due and stressed that the government's only desire was to ensure efficiency in revenue generation and management.
Former military ruler General Ibrahim Babangida has pledged the support of retired generals for the APC presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari in the February presidential poll. Babangida, who made the pledge while receiving Buhari at his hilltop mansion in Minna, the Niger state capital, said retired generals would assist him to salvage Nigeria if he wins the poll. He said that Buhari, who was in Minna for his presidential campaign rally, has proven him and other retired generals wrong, that one can still aspire for greater service after retirement. Babangida used the forum to fault the media for portraying him and Buhari as sworn enemies, recalling that as young majors they once fought together to keep Nigeria one. Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says it is worried over the desperation of today's politicians, saying it poses a major threat to Nigeria's democracy. INEC Chairman Professor Atahiru Jega, who expressed the concern at a conference in Kano, said the do-or-die mentality of the polity needs to be checked immediately.
The suspected killer of a National Youth Service Corps member, Idowu Shukra, whose body was found lying dead in the government reservation area (GRA) of Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, has been arraigned before an Ilorin magistrate court. The police prosecutor, Inspector Matthew Ologbon, told the court that investigation by the police revealed that the suspect, Abdullahi Tanko, and his collaborators, now at large, conspired to trick the deceased from her residence at Soul Mill area to Shoprite area, where she was killed on that fateful day. The prosecutor told the court that the suspected killer and his gang had raped the deceased inside their car, which caused her untimely death. He added that after they had raped the late corps member at Tanko's residence at Plot 6 Simon Okedi Okwabasika Junction, GRA, they carried her dead body to a nearby junction while her blood was still flowing along with them. The police located Tanko's house through the blood traces of the deceased, and the suspected killer was arrested. During the arrest of the suspect, the mobile phone of the deceased NYC corps member was found with the suspect. The presiding magistrate, K.A. Yahaya, ordered that the accused Abdullahi Tanko, 51, be remanded in Mandala Federal Prison until the case will resume further hearing on August 10, 2015. It will be recalled that Funab Radio had earlier reported the death of the corps member. That is the national news. Before we go, a look at the major stories. DPR wants fuel stations.
Ogun State Government union officials to meet over teacher strike.
Kwara State government directs tertiary institutions to operate single accounts.
President Jonathan says he has done much for the North.
Suspected NYC member killed.
General Babangida pledges retired generals support for APC's presidential candidate.
For more stories and to listen to us live, log on to our website www.punabradio.com. The news was packaged by Ayo Arobojolu. Thank you for listening. I am Olushola Bamidele.
And I am Nobiora Victor.
So have a lovely afternoon.